solves the problem. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't always happen in the real severe cases. So a committee, maybe like Reeve Miller said, maybe we should be getting that back in place. Councillor McLaughlin?
I don't think it was ever out of place. It's never been dissolved. It's just that there has no issue that's gone that far. That has been, and I think that we need to have Doug here if we're going to have a discussion over this committee, because he's the person that would be able to answer all our questions.
Yeah.
So
okay,
if we want to have that discussion, I think we need to wait until Doug is here to answer them.
We shall do that. That makes sense. Okay. Cobden Arena repairs, arena manager report. Christine?
Well, Jerry has provided this report regarding safety concerns at the front entrance of the building. So, Marcia, I don't know if, I guess we need to have a conversation with Jerry to get some kind of a repair estimate as we come into budget time.
Councillor McLaughlin?
Well, if I remember proper, and that goes back quite a while before anybody was on here, when we did pave that, I think the Cobden Rec Association paid for that portion of the pavement. I'm sure Cobden paid for a portion, the Curling Club paid for a portion, the Ike Society paid part of a portion, and we paid a portion. So I'm confused. I know that at that time, and you can go back and check through, it was Greenwood Paving that did it. So maybe we need to start there to see where we come in or whether it's our obligation.
Okay. I'm just going to give the mic to Bill for a second there first.
I believe the area they're talking about is the entranceway off the parking lot. There's a small culvert runs under the ramp down in. And over the years, the culvert's heaved up somewhat, and it's a bit of a tripping hazard. And I think the back of the arena is so that the Zamboni doesn't have to travel through the mud some days to dump the snow, especially on warm winters like this. So it's two small areas. We could look at getting a quote from some of our paving companies, and then we can go from there if you'd like.
Councillor Jackson.
And I guess to determine whose cost it is needs to be outlined in the agreement for the arena. So who's responsible for what?
Councillor Olmsted.
Are either one of these areas, Bill, big enough to be included in the accessibility grant that we're looking for?
I wouldn't think so.
The front entrance probably could be. It's already accessible, but like people would have troubles with wheelchairs, or eventually will have. So it could be, the front entrance could be included in that. Yes.
So we put that in the scope. That would. I mean, we did our back parking lot with that same grant, right?
Yep, I think it would fit.
Christine.
So we're in the process now of rewriting the Cobden Recreation Association bylaw. Now that Councillor Olmsted and Natalie Moore have been assigned to that committee, and part of that is also renegotiating a lease agreement which expired in 2011. So, which I will be reviewing with the lawyer. So to take Councillor Jackson's point, then costing responsibilities for repairs should definitely be part of that new lease. So it's very clear on who pays for what. Or if there's a partnership, if we go back in time and see how it was arranged last time about what the division is.
Councillor McLaughlin.
I'm just wondering if we should maybe, though, in the meantime, get Bill to look at it and see what needs to be done, and maybe move forward in that sense, and at that point we'll know what it is, so we can put it into next year's budget if we deem it's our part. So
and or the grant.
Maybe if Bill would go ahead and look it over and see if he could get some estimates and costs.
Okay, any other questions on that subject? Okay. 2016 Renfrew County committees. That was just an overall information. Yeah. All right. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region receives and files correspondence 1 through 7. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. Moved by Kathy Rager, seconded by Terry Miller, be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve the insurance renewal proposal for Knox Commercial Insurance prepared by Jordan Lloyd Thompson Canada Inc. JLT for the term of January 1st, 2016 to January 1st, 2017. Marcia, could you speak to that?
Yes, thank you. I need to sign off on the insurance policy, and before I did that, I wanted to bring it to council, and if you've had any questions. Basically, yesterday morning, actually, Bill Riley called me, and they made an error on the cost. So what our 2016 insurance is going to be now is $165,456 plus PST. It's about a little difference of about $1,000, so it's not much. Anyways, that was just an error on their part, so I didn't put that into the agenda because I just got it yesterday. So, so basically, it's just straightforward. This covers insurance, adequate insurance on all of our buildings, equipment, and then when I get that bill, then I would divide it and code it to all the different departments as per usual.
Okay. All those in favor? Any other questions, I should say first? Go ahead, Chris.
So when's the last time we've actually got another quote on, probably quite a while since we got another
You mean
opinion
another
or tender on a quote on our insurance needs?
on from another company?
From any, yeah.
I don't know. I believe we've had, I know when I did the payables, I've paid this company for many years, so I'm not quite sure. Now I know this, I did speak to Bill. I actually met him here the other day, and he states that he has pretty much 90% of the municipalities, except for Petawawa, and right now he just put in, I guess it's an RFP for Pembroke. So he pretty much has everybody else, I believe. And that's all that they do is municipal insurance. They don't do home, private, nothing like that. So sometimes it's good to have the people that know kind of our business, but I could certainly see.
So at this time, just due to the timelines, I would recommend maybe moving forward with this one, but in 2016,
Sure.
I'd like to open up the option of putting it out there.
Yes.
Even when the current companies know that it's going for tender, sometimes they can find savings.
Yes. Perfect. I'll do that.
Excuse me, Reeve Miller.
I agree with Councillor Olmsted, and if you want, I could quiz Bob Sweet on Petawawa and try to get a handle on what they're doing up there and why. Maybe the info would be all right.
Councillor Jackson.
I think I was speaking with Jennifer Robitaille with regards to procurement, and one of the questions I had of her as well was, can you go into this package with little ones at a time? I think she has the expertise to go out and do an RFP for and at what cost. So I've asked her to prepare for me a per RFP cost, or the overall cost, what it is to join her procurement group for the year. She's going to provide that to me for budget purposes, and perhaps Marcia can ask her that same question. And then you can either go in on the RFPs, because I know Laurentian Valley is going to be looking at as well, insurance as well as benefits. So and probably a few other ones, but the more you have in. Currently, I know the county, for benefits-wise, the county of Renfrew has benefits with a small group of municipalities throughout Renfrew County, and they do it as a group. So you could do sort of the same sort of thing, get a good price. But if you do it as a group for insurance, I don't know that I'd recommend that, because then your insurance rates would be liable on somebody else as well. So, but just to do the RFP individually would be great.
Okay.
Good, sounds good. Christine?
And just a quick reminder, Jennifer is the lady who came in to make a presentation to you a couple of months ago about bulk buying, about group procurement. That's her specialty.
Okay, perfect. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. What do we on? Turn them out. Moved by Kathy Wager, second by Terry Miller. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve the unfinanced Public Works new Truck 10 be financed in the 2015 budget for working capital reserves as per the auditor's suggestion. The purchase amount of Truck 10 is $207,692.30. Any questions? All those in favor? Councillor Jackson.
How much does that reduce our working capital reserve, Marcia?
What Will and I spoke about was the fact that Corner View, hold on here, sorry. No, it wasn't Corner View.
Grant Settlement Road.
Yes, Grant Settlement Road, you're right. $168,000. That was to come out of working capital reserve, and since that project did not get done, Will thought it was best to, if we have an unfinanced piece of equipment or project, he suggested, why don't we just use that out of there, as well as the other amounts which didn't get used this year were the Rapid Road at $40,000, and then the Corner View at $57,000. So, and I believe it's also the calcium tank. So
the problem is, and I understand the only one that we're not going forward with is the calcium tank for sure,
yeah.
but all those other projects need to be funded from somewhere next
That's
year.
Right.
So how is the other truck being funded from for this year, the first truck? Is it coming right out of taxes?
Yes.
So, and the plan was to take it right out of taxes. So if we put it into working reserves this year, take it from working reserves, are we going to transfer, what I would recommend is that in 2016, we transfer from taxation into working reserves the same amount of money, because even though we're not doing those other projects, we still have to do them.
That makes sense.
We need the money to do them. Councillor Olmsted.
Can you just reread the,
I will reread this.
thank you.
Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve the unfinanced Public Works new Truck 10 be financed in the 2015 budget from working capital reserves as per the auditor's suggestion. The purchase amount of the truck number 10 is $207,692.30. Okay. All those in favor?
Can I ask one more question?
One more question.
Can we add
Councillor Jackson.
the fact that we'd like to put it back into reserves in 2016 so that it's clear, so it doesn't
Yeah.
get lost?
Let's write
Under
that in
working capital reserve.
so that we do that.
So in 2016, that'd be budgeted out of revenue to reimburse working reserve of that amount, however you want to word it. Working capital. Same reserve, absolutely.
Yes, go ahead.
Charlie.
Okay, so you wanna use that money for the truck, but yet budget the money we already taken for next year?
So what happens, Councillor Mackay, is that because we were going to unfinance that truck and we were gonna finance it next year out of taxation, like we financed this year's truck out of taxation, out of revenue that was generated, auditors typically don't like to see unfinanced projects go from one year to another when there's a capability of funding it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And because we didn't use some of the reserves that were set aside to do other projects, it's as if we've budgeted for those reserve transfers to happen anyways. So he's suggesting we go ahead and transfer it from reserves anyway. But next year, what I'm asking to add to that motion is that we do what we intended to do anyways by putting it back into reserves. So we're taking it out this year, financing it so it doesn't show up on the books as unfinanced projects. Next year, we'll take the revenue that we were going to allocate to that truck and put it into the working reserve.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, I'm gonna read the whole thing again, just because I can. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve the unfinanced public works new truck 10 be financed in the 2015 budget from working capital reserves as per the auditor's suggestion. The purchase amount of the truck 10 is $207,692.30. In 2016, revenue will be budgeted to replenish the working capital reserves in the amount of the truck purchase. All of those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. Moved by Chris Olmsted, second by Charlene Jackson. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve the change of the gas tax project from Cornerview, 1.101 kilometers, to Magnesium Road project, Double Surface Street, and that the payment for the project be paid out of the gas tax funds in the amount of $95,201.63. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried.
Oh, no, I didn't have that one moved and seconded. Didn't get in the file, so we need to move and second it.
All right. Yeah, we're just going to be moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Olmsted. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region allocate the following amounts of reserves for the 2015 budget year pending final figures. Everybody has a copy of this. All those in favor? That question, Councillor Olmsted.
Sorry, can we just have Marcia speak to this?
Sure. Marcia?
Oh, sure. At the end of the year, traditionally, the treasurer provides to council a list of funds that should be transferred to a reserve. So these are funds that have been raised through taxation, through the budget, and maybe projects did not get done, or they have they budgeted a couple $1,000s to do something and didn't happen. So let's say, for an example, you'll see here there's an emergency one. We didn't spend, I think it was about $3,000 in our emergency budget, but we want to put those funds that are not going to be used specifically back into the emergency plan reserve, just to start building that up in the event that there is ever a catastrophic event that we need the funds for.
Okay, so I think if I may, so 2015 is starting to actualize, and these are simply funding left over from
Yes, they're not, these are just approximates, they're not finals yet until after
alright,
the
understand.
budget, yeah.
Thank you.
Christine?
For example, as well, Councillor Olmsted, that Taste of the Valley this year, for the first time in 9 years, had a significant, I think we've got about $1,700 left in the bank after the event to start and build a reserve for the future. And this rolls that over and earmarks it specifically so that it doesn't go back into general revenue. An awful lot of things get lost going back into general revenue. And, you know, sometimes department managers who've managed to be frugal end up being penalized because their money vanishes. So it's an earmarking process.
All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Homestead. Be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region accepts the recommendations from Auditor McMillan and Associates relating to the audit of 2015 financial statements. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Homestead. Be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region accepts the audit disclosures from McMillan and Associates related to the 2015 audit of the consolidated financial statements of the Township of Whitewater Regions. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Yep.
The auditor is also asked, and I did leave each of you a copy of this, I need each member of council to sign what's called the planning letter, which outlines the scope of the audit. This is pro forma, we do it every year, and therefore the auditor has proof that every member of council has reviewed what the auditor's responsibilities and what will be included in the audit.
Are you gonna send around one so we can all sign the same one?
Here it is.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We just read it.
If that,
Separate.
that just, maybe we'll start with Dave and then it'll just work its way back. It's the last page. It's the last page, well, clearly.
We'll copy your name. I can do this right now. Moved by Chris Olmsted, seconded by Charlene Jackson. Be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region declares the February 19th, February 21st, 2016 annual Beachburg Memorial Hockey Tournament as a community event of municipal significance and that does not knowingly contrive any municipal bylaws. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. See, got that right out of the road. Yes. They do that, those things, every once in a while, scurry off on their own. Adobe, I do it all before. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Olmsted. Be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region endorse the letter dated November 25, 2015, sent to the Honorable Steve Del Duca, Minister of Transportation, by County of Renfrew Warden Peter Heeman. The letter outlines the importance of the continuation 4-lane expansion of the Trans-Canada Highway 17 west through eastern Ontario and the expansion of Renfrew County Road 51 as it enters Garrison, Petawawa. All those in favor? Carried. by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Olmsted, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region endorse the letter dated November 25, 2015, sent to the Honourable Catherine Wynne, Premier of Ontario, by County of Renfrew Warden Peter Eamon. The letter outlines the importance of the continuation 4-lane expansion of the Trans-Canada Highway 17 West through Eastern Ontario as a priority project for the elected officials and residents of Renfrew County and Eastern Ontario. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Chris Olmsted, seconded by Charlene Jackson. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region support the Township of Montague's Resolution 273-2015 regarding Bill 100 supporting Ontario Trails Act, which has the following purpose. 1. To increase awareness about and encourage use of trails. 2. To enhance trails and the trail experience. 3. To protect trails from today's generation and future generations. Protect for today's generation and future generations. To recognize contribution that trails make to quality of life in Ontario. And number 5, to recognize the contribution of quality of place. Council encourages the Government of Ontario to continue to work with stakeholders to enhance the liability and trespass provisions of Bill 100 to ensure that undue hardships are not created for the municipalities. All those in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township, moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Olmsted. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region authorizes the sale of surplus equipment to the highest bidder for the equipment dispersal tender PW-11-215. 1989 pumper truck, $1,429.45. Including HST, 1981 tanker truck, $508.50 including HST, 99 Volvo tandem truck, $1,254.30. Yes, I'm just letting that settle. 1984 Fire Rescue Ambulance, $452, including HST. 1999 GMC Safari Van, $84.75, including GST. 2002 Ford F-100, $231.65, including HST. Kun, 5-disc more, $525.45, including HST. 2004 Chevrolet Silverado, $649.75, including HST. All those in favor? We're clearing the air out, working great. Who did? Oh, I have no idea. I make no comment. Carried. Canopy once, I don't care. Whatever. Councillor announcements. Starting with Councillor McLaughlin.
I'm just wondering where the float is and where it's supposed to end up.
The float is sitting right now beside the 1950 whatever fire truck in Foresters Falls, indoors. parked for, until the next, which it might be, the, St. Patty's Parade, and we don't know that yet, but it could be the St. Patty's Parade.
Okay, no, that's good news.
Yep.
I didn't realize, because the last I looked, the picnic tables are still in the front of the door.
Friday before, we went to Beachburg, there was a demand made, and they cleaned it all out. And then Bill was kind enough to have it, scurried over to the dump. Everything was raked, and we backed it in. Councillor Mackay had to push it a wee bit.
Well, anyway, would you please then send out thank you to the fire hall for cleaning it out, so that it will be done, so that it is inside this year, and that's good. Is everything gone from there now? Last I looked, there was still it still looked like a fridge or something outside the stuff.
Could be, I'm not sure.
Do you know, Bill? Is it all cleaned up?
I know it's not plugged in.
I'm not sure, I'd have to check. We'd left the steel for a local person to pick up that collects scrap steel, so.
Oh, okay, then that's what we're looking at then.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's being taken care of, that's the best.
I'll check and make sure.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Mackay.
I'm gonna see if I can scrounge up 4 more tires for that float, because they're getting kind of weather checked, and
Councillor Mackay, we could probably get Steve Hodson to pick a bunch of them out of the dump.
they're just 15-inch.
Yeah, just 15-inch. Councillor McLaughlin?
Well, that would be great, because I put the other tires on.
Yeah.
The original set I put on.
Yeah, they're getting pretty shot.
So, once again, it's been quite a few years since we built that, so.
Yep. And we don't
maybe they need to be replaced. I heard a lot of groaning about one tire this year, or was it last year?
You mean the flat tire I found my first week
Well,
on the job?
yeah, but you should have came when it was first started, because I found 4 of them flat. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Olmsted, be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region went into closed session under Section 239-2 of the Municipal Act at 9 o'clock.
Take care of what?
Thanks, Karen.
Yep.
Oh, and then you have notice of motion for the next agenda, or you can...
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Karen. You're the best.
Let me email them, yeah.
Thanks for being our best friend.
Merry Christmas, Connie. Thanks for being my very best friend. We'll see you before Christmas, surely to goodness. That's a week away. Christmas. It is.
So,
Absolutely. I've got all the gifts I need to get.
Christine, how long
I got my white
when does the staff get off?
No, I got her a battery-powered whippersnipper.
Yeah. Okay.
I did. That's what she
I'm
got.
not trying to look,
Yeah.
check on you, I just want
She
to know.
likes tools. I got her a drill one year. She just loves stuff. You usually have one or two. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the best.
Have we got any, wait, we gotta go down here. Notice of no motions for future meetings, anybody requesting? No, we're gonna do this before we do that. I haven't, asked for a vote on this. We're going back a piece, Councillor McLaughlin.
I'm just wondering, when do you want those requests or proposals for the appointments? At what point do you want those?
We should have, what's this, is the last, we should have them for the next meeting. Yeah,
Next council meeting?
yeah,
So that'll be about January 16th or something?
I think it's 6th.
No, that's committee.
Well, maybe we can discuss it at committee.
Well, there you go. Anyway.
We could have them ready. I asked for everybody to, give me their requests for committees, or their statements for committees, or recommendations for committees for next year.
And I think I've got that either on January 6th or February 2nd or 3rd agenda. It's right up the top of the new year.
Okay, so it's probably on the 6th.
I've got an announcement. Federal government's asking for nominations for Senate, non-partisan Senate. So I thought I'd put my name in. If I get it, I'll quit, sorry.
We won't have to what?
Well, you'll be here.
Yeah, you may get it.
We have to have a motion to extend the meeting.
Okay. Oh, okay. We're extending the meeting, and then we're going to vote on the what I read for the closed. I'll even finish it. Hurry up, because we only have 1 minute to go, or we'll have to change the time.
Oh, so we should extend it and then we go into close.
Councillor McLaughlin.
Just when I was looking at this, do you realize we do have two residents here, that one was a gold medalist at the kayaking event, and I wonder if we shouldn't, when we're honoring people, I wonder if, it's something to have a gold medalist living here in Whitewater region, so I wonder if we should maybe invite them and
Give them absolutely, I agree.
so we can honor them. I think it is quite
Absolutely, Darrell. Councillor McLaughlin, and now Councillor Jackson, who went,
No. When he said that, it reminded me that you must go on and vote for Melissa Bishop. I don't know if I need this thing. Melissa Bishop, as Athlete of the Year for Canada. She is leading the ranking, and if you haven't voted, please vote now. Are we recording?
Yeah, we're still on.
Okay, sorry. Please vote for Melissa Bishop for Canadian Athlete of the Year.
and you
Go
just
online.
www.what?
Well, it was on Facebook, but
Don't go on Facebook.
I know, but there is a place that you can go. Just a second. CBC sports polls. So lockerdome.com.
Oh.
And she is in the lead with 34% of the votes right now. And the next one in line is 13%. So we have to make sure that she keeps going. Locker, L-O-C-K-E-R, dome, D-O-M-E.com. And it's who's your choice for Canadian Athlete of the Year? My choice is Melissa Bishop.
That's what you do. All right. Perfect. So you're doing that right now, everybody, are they? Miller.
Just a comment about Melissa. Did you may or may not know that North Algona, Wilberforce named a park after her.
Perfect. Wow. All right, everybody ready for this? Moved by Charlene Jackson, second by Chris Olmsted. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region agrees to extend the council meeting past 9 o'clock. All those in favor? Okay, carried. I don't even look up.
Let's finish up.
Moved by Charlene Jackson, second by Chris Olmsted, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region went into closed session under Section 2392 of the Municipal Act at 9 o'clock for the following purpose. Personal matters about an identifiable individual, proposed or pending acquisition of disposal of land by the municipality or local board, litigation or potential litigation affecting the corporation of the Township of Whitewater Region or local boards, including matters before the administrative tribunal. All those in favor?